Hey, it's Vas here from Aussie RC Playground and welcome to another episode of RC Pit Stop. Today we are going to be finishing off the Proline ProMT 4x4. So we're going to be painting up the body and obviously installing the electrics as well so we can go out there and run it. However, this is not the body that we're actually going to be painting. This is a stock body that I got with the truck. I'm actually going to be saving this one for a later project. I want to paint a bit of a theme on it and pay tribute to my dad who passed away last month. So this will be saved for a later video. The body that we are going to be painting is going to be the ambush body. So I've already started masking it up. We're going to have something here on the bonnet. We're going to be painting up the seats and the little fuel cell down the back here. There's also a dashboard that you need to cut up and sort of put on here. So that's going to be painted up as well. And then I might do something else on the side. I haven't decided yet. We'll see what happens. So that's the body that's going to go on the truck. For the motor, as you can see here, we have the Hobbywing Easy Run 4274 2200 kV. This is a motor that I've used before with the Max 8 combo, and I got it on its own so that I could use it in this truck. So I've kind of just dummy fitted it on top of the truck here. It's not, screwed on or anything. The motor mount looks as though it can use both 36mm and 40mm motors. There is a little bracket on here, like a spacer, that you need to remove, and then hopefully the 40mm motors will sit in there really nice. Receiver, as you can see, is kind of just sitting here. That's a Futaba receiver. It's antennaless, and of course I'll have links in the video description for everything, so if you want to check any of these components out, feel free to check them out. I'll have links in there for you. For the steering servo, we are going to be using a Savox SV1270TG. This is a high voltage servo, and it has a power reading of 35 kilograms at 7.4 volts. So no doubt this will be more than enough for this particular truck. I think this will do very, very well. The ESC is a XE Run XR8 Plus. This is an ESC that I got on its own quite a few years ago now. I think I was originally using this in the Thunder Tiger Bushmaster, and then I took it out of that car because I was going to use it on the Sen Reaper Chaos Reaper project actually, when I was just going to use it on 6 cell, and then I changed that out to a Max 6, which then allowed me to use it on 8 cell. So this has been sort of sitting in the drawer for a while. I had the long cable set up to put it in the Reaper and everything, yeah, I figured, hey, you know what, why don't I get a motor for this, whack it in this truck, go a little bonkers with it, and just see what this thing can do. Now, I'm not planning to run super high power through this. I think 6L will be just way too much for this truck. I'm going to stick to maybe 3S and 4S tops. That's the plan. 3S, I've already got a few batteries kind of scattered around, but I wanted to get a new 4S battery for this. And this one here is the Genzace 5500mAh 45C, which I think would be more than enough for this truck. Given that it's a fairly smallish sort of truck, we're not really running, a big 1/8 scale platform. This may not pull too many amps, and depending on how I gear it as well, I think 4S will actually work really, really well with this. It'll have plenty of torque, especially with this motor. There'll be no doubt that this will have plenty of power on 4 cell. I think even on 3S will be pretty crazy, so we'll see how we go. These batteries already come set up with XT90 connectors. I actually got this one from work, so I got it out from Metro Hobbies, and again, I'll have links in the video description for you to check all of these out if you want to go and see where I got all this stuff from and how much it is. So for pinion, we're going to be using the stock pinion that's provided with the truck. I don't know what the gearing is going to be like, so we kind of need to experiment a little bit and just see if we need to go up or down on pinion. They give you a 16 tooth, which looks, I don't know, it might be a little bit high. We might need to gear down a bit, but we'll see. Like I said, we need to experiment a little bit first, and then we'll know where our gearing is going to sit. So for now, I am going to put all of this away. I need to finish kind of masking up the body as well, get that ready for paint, and I need to start installing my electrics. So let's get to work, and then when I'm done a little bit of work, I'll come back and kind of fill you in on what's been going on. Okay, so there we are all done. I was going to do this on a stage by stage type of scenario and do a little bit, show you where I was up to and so on, but I got carried away, as I generally tend to do, and I was really enjoying the install because it was actually quite easy and quite simple. I figured I was just going to extend the video unnecessarily, and yeah, well, I may as well show you what I've done, and then you guys can see exactly how it all goes together. So here's what the finished product looks like. I have my receiver up the front here. There's no receiver box, so just keep in mind that your receiver is going to be fully exposed. There is a little notch there for you to put an antenna if you need to. This is an antennaless receiver, so there's no need for that for me. I did have a aluminium servo horn lying around, so I figured I'd use that. Battery, motor, and of course ESC tucked away in the back, which is actually a very snug fit. I almost thought that I was going to have to rethink this and maybe come up with a different system, but no, it works. It's a very tight fit. And then of course my on and off switch back there. This was a very simple and easy install. There's really nothing here that's going to blindside you. You should be pretty much just a straightforward plug and play scenario. Install your electrics, set everything up, and you're good to go. I did come across one small issue, and that was with one of the CVDs on the truck. Essentially, when I was sort of testing and making sure that everything was working, I noticed that one of these, every time the shaft did a full rotation, it would kick up, and I wasn't sure what was going on there. It wouldn't do it if it was level, but as soon as it dropped or it went, you know, there was a bit of a kink on the CVD, it would have that kick. And I wasn't sure where that was coming from, if it was a diff thing, if it was what was happening. Thankfully, I have come across this issue once before, and it kind of, when I started thinking about it, it triggered that memory. And I realized after having a closer inspection that it was the CVD that was actually assembled incorrectly from the factory. So the CVD will have a barrel, and then there's a cross pin that goes through the barrel, kind of across it. And in the factory, I think they just assembled it, they put it long ways, and there was just not enough articulation in that particular angle. So anyway, I've sorted it out, it was fixed. It's a minor thing, but if you ever come across that in the future, just check the CVDs, they may be assembled incorrectly. I'm sure that this is probably a one-off. It could be a reviewer's curse, as some other YouTubers would call it, because probably Proline will do 1,000 of these and not have a single problem, but for some reason mine did. So just something to keep an eye out for. Now, of course, for the body, I wanted to keep the body fairly simple. I didn't want to go all out and do a real fancy paint job, but I did still put in a little bit of effort. It's not just a single solid color and that's it. This is a pretty straightforward sort of setup, and this is what I've gone for, which is a Deadpool themed body. So I'll run you through it. There's really not much to this. I printed out a Deadpool symbol, popped it on the outside, traced it on the inside, and voila, turned out like that. Here I used some liquid mask on the seats because it's really hard to mask up with tape. Cut it up, and that's how I got the red and the black, and it all looks really nice and trim. Here is just some different thickness tape. So I've got some tape that comes pre-cut at, like, I think it's 1.5, 2 mil, something like that. And you got this other one which is like 10 mil. And there's all different thicknesses that you can get, and you can just, do your stripes however you want. The thinner stuff is really good for curving, so if you want to do like curved stripes and things like that, to follow the contours of a body, that works out really well. The fuel tank on the back, that's probably the only fail point. I actually had all this liquid masked, and I was going to do the cap a different color, and I was going to do these little bits here that looks like there's like straps holding the tank down. They were going to be a different color, but as I started sort of cutting everything, the liquid mask actually came off, and I don't know if it's because it's summer here at the moment, it's just a bit hot, and it just it came unstuck. So I painted it all one color. That's probably the only fail bit. Everything else turned out pretty well. PS55 on the outside here to dull off the seats so they don't look super shiny. The dashboard, I actually painted it from the inside in gunmetal, so that's what the dashboard looks like there with all the stickers and everything. And then on the outside I used PS55 again just to dull it out. So that's what that looks like. And then you just use some double-sided tape along the top and some along the back there. Sorry, you probably can't even see it, but there's a little tab that they allow you to just stick that on there, and away you go. Cage goes on really nice. Hopefully it holds on. I'm hoping that the cage doesn't tear apart on the first sort of tumble, because no doubt this thing's going to be flying through the air and doing all sorts of crazy stunts. Of course, it has enormous amount of power. As I said, I'm probably just going to stick to a 3S, maybe a 4S, and that's probably going to be about it. I don't think I'm going to go too nuts with this truck, purely because it's a fairly short wheelbase truck, and I think the way it is, it's going to be a lot of fun to drive. The only thing I'm sort of spewing that Proline don't include in this kit is a wheelie bar. I mean, a truck like this, short wheelbase, big sort of rubber tires that are obviously going to create a lot of inertia for the thing to be on two wheels. Would have been nice if it included a wheelie bar on the back of this. It wouldn't have hurt them. But that's pretty much it. Now, as far as the upgrades go, I've still got all the upgrades here. I didn't install any of them. I was kind of contemplating putting some of these on straight away, but I don't know. I think I'm going to run it as it is. I'm going to see how, what fails at what point. Am I going to have leaky shocks? Are the caps going to pop off? Is the steering assembly going to have an issue? All of these things. I'm going to run this truck the same way that I run all my other RCs at the BMX track, and we're going to compare. We're going to see how this holds up, because at the end of the day, that's the whole aim of the game of this whole series, is to kind of take you through the unboxing, show you what you get, talk about the installation, any issues that I encountered, give you guys some inspiration with the painted body and all that sort of thing. And then of course we're going to take it outside and kick the living daylights out of it and see what gives. So that's the whole plan. And as things fail, then of course I've got some upgrades here to go on there, and I suppose we'll install those as we go. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up before you go. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And of course, check out the video description. I'll have links in there to the truck, the batteries, all the equipment that I've used. There'll be links in the video description for you, as well as links to my social media pages. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.